11 years ago, when we had our second son. Kathleen had to go gluten-free. We would all go to different breweries and spend an afternoon with the kids playing games, sampling different beers, and she'd have to sit there with the water.
We had a built-in designated driver, which is nice. But
yes.
Not always nice for the person who would rather enjoys a good beer.
We really felt like you could make beer that was as good as barley-based beer. Beer that was gluten-free, safe for people with celiac disease, that tasted like beer. That's been the mission from day one. We want to make beer that is delicious. We want to make beer that I can drink as somebody who can have gluten and can enjoy, that Nick can have, that Leslie can have. We were really lucky and fortunate to have Scott Nebel on board. He's our head brewer. He was with us from day one.
You know, gluten-free beer can be quality, delicious beer. I think a lot of people don't realize that. We're doing something that, not a lot of breweries are really doing in the Northeast, using alternative grains to brew gluten-free beer. Really, it's the grains that's different, obviously. We're not using barley or wheat or rye or any other gluten-containing grains. We're just using grains that are naturally gluten-free. So we're using millet primarily, but also a good amount of rice, some buckwheat, some oats, and some corn in 1 or 2 recipes.
He was able to learn the grains quickly and figure out how to make all these different styles with a different set of grains. They're malted in the full flavor profile that barley is malted in, but it's a whole different set of grains. So there's a learning curve there, and it's amazing. We haven't come across anything yet that he hasn't been able to make a good recipe for and be excited about.
People that come into the brewery, they're like, this just tastes like beer. And it sounds like a really simple thing if you're not gluten-free, but it's a big deal for people who can't have barley-based beer, that can't have gluten in their diet.
There's been a lot of moments just working in the tasting room where you can really feel the emotion of the people who have been missing beer for so long. They'll come in and say things like, wow, I've never had a flight before because that wasn't a thing when I had to give up gluten, or I haven't had a real beer in 20 years. I mean, we've had people come in and actually get teary looking at our board, and they ask the question, can we really drink all of this?
But to be able to have people, anybody with a gluten intolerance, come through the door and say, you can have anything, full stop. It's a big deal.